Guys, good afternoon, welcome back to my channel. I'm sorry I appeared this way, please pardon that, and ignore the background noise. I'm not at home, as you can see, and I can't control the noise for now. I just want to come in here quickly to clear the post I made on the 2nd on Instagram. So Daniel Chiem has gone to be with the Lord. My family, we are mourning now, and I've not been myself. I have the last vlog I did throughout December and New Year that I planned to post that 2nd or 3rd before what happened, and in that vlog you will see when we were coming to Ogidi, the joy that I was coming to my sister's house to spend New Year for the first time ever. Usually I spend my New Year at my husband's home. I usually travel every December 27 to my father's village. There we will stay until 29 or 30. Then I'll come back to my home and spend a New Year before we will go to Ogidi. But this year's New Year, I told my husband I wanted to spend it at Ogidi because we couldn't make it to the village. A lot were going on in my village, just village matter. So we couldn't go to the village this Christmas. So I plan to spend Christmas with my sister, and honestly I would say I regretted it. If you don't know who Daniel Chiem is, Daniel Chiem is my 9-month-old nephew, Chief's son, Chief Akunwata's son. My sister, if you've been watching my vlog, she took in that baby July of last year, 2021. And I was at her house the day she took in that baby. I was sleeping, I could remember, and she woke me up and showed me the pregnancy strip. I stood and I wanted to bow for the Lord, and I hit my head on the tiles, but that didn't stop me. I glorified the Lord, because if you don't know, my sister is a TTC mother. It's always difficult for her to get pregnant. So Chiemeri's pregnancy and birth was everything for us, because it ended childbearing for them. It ended the journey of trying to conceive for them. I recently did a video with her and the husband. I will share the video cut here, where her husband expressed his gratitude for overcoming infertility. That is the title of that video. They overcome infertility. But now, I don't know if I should say they are into trying to conceive again. I carried this pregnancy along here on my channel. The day she confirmed this pregnancy, she showed me that test. I didn't believe it. In fact, she didn't also believe it. And I could remember we ran to her office because she's a lab technician. Sorry, please, I'm trying to, you won't see that. So we ran to her office, where she took a blood sample, did the PT again, it came back positive. We drove home dancing. There was a vlog. I'm going to put the clip here where we were dancing. We were dancing, including herself. I could remember after she danced that dance, we went upstairs and she started dropping blood. I told her not to panic, just gave her cold water. She drank and everything stopped. I've been doing videos with that pregnancy. Even the day she put to bed, I couldn't make it to the hospital, but I made it to the day she was discharged. I was at her house when they brought Chiem back home. We lost him. Chiemerie Daniel has gone to be with the Lord. I'm finding it difficult to cope because he died in my hands. Today is Wednesday, 5th of January. But the truth is, I've not been myself. I know that if I did not come to Ogidi and I was called and told that Chiemerie is dead, I could have bared it more. Rather than seeing this boy dying and I didn't know he was dying. Before, a lot of you will say we didn't do, because people likes to condemn me on YouTube. I'm going to tell the story, the backstory of how it happened. So, he started stooling and purging on the 30th. I called my sister and she told me that Chiemerie was sick, Chidinma was sick. I wanted to cancel going there, but I said no, it's the only way the environment is conducive that I'm meant to come. Let me come and still help her out. So 31st we came. That 31st they were at the hospital. They were at the hospital on the 30th and 31st. Then he started responding. This sickness came with fever, vomiting and stooling. So on the 31st, the fever had stopped, the vomiting had stopped, the stooling was getting thick. So she now was discharged and they came home. But they came home during around 5 p.m. No, I think around 3 p.m. on the 31st. So then around 6 p.m. they went back again for injections. You know how they do it. When you get discharged, you will now be going back to take your injections and all that. So they went back again for injections and got back at night around 9 on that first. So when they got back, I looked at Chiemerie. He was okay, but I didn't know what. I wasn't comfortable. I was moved to call my mom. I just asked my mom if she was aware that Emelie was sick, because my mom went to the village on the 30th. You will still watch that on that vlog that I talked about. And she said yes, that she saw my sister that 30th, that she left my house like in a trance, and my sister was standing so moody and unhappy in that trance. So she quickly called my sister and asked if everything was fine, and my sister said no, that Emelie was sick and Chidinma was equally sick. So she prayed for them and told her to go to the hospital, but she confirmed they were at the hospital. So, and that she had called her on the 31st, but she didn't pick. And I told my mother that my sister is so stressed. Holding a child that is always on drip, 20 like hourly drips, it's not easy for her. So my mother now said she told my sister to carry him to the chapel. If you're a Catholic, you should know about the chapel. So, but she said she was calling to know if my sister went to that chapel. But my sister said at the time my mom called that they were coming back discharged from the hospital and she was wearing trousers. She couldn't branch to the chapel. So my mother now said we should start taking him to the chapel immediately. But before she said that, she said I should go put the phone on his ear so she could pray for him. So I went and put the phone on his ear, and he was lying with the father. So my mother started praying. The father was sleeping beside him. My mother started praying for him, and after she stopped the prayers, she now told me, Namgwa, chief, chapel. Immediately my in-law heard it. He stood up. He was so tired. Both him and the wife were so tired. So he stood up. The wife was even surprised that chief accepted going to the chapel because he was so sick. So he stood up and started wearing clothes. And I said, are we going? He said yes. So we left for the chapel. We were there for minutes praying. When we went to the chapel, Chiemerie was sleeping. So, but we were there. Chiemerie woke up and started looking around, He didn't know where he was. And I tapped the mother because I was carrying him. So the mother now opened and said, oh, thank God. So chief now sowed some seed into the box, and we ended our prayers and we started coming home. If only Chiemelie was showing a sign of sickness, we could have from that chapel back to the hospital. But he was sound. I did not, maybe that was a sign, but because I didn't pick that sign. So we went back home. When we got home, they did pap for him. He drank the pap very well. He had stopped vomiting. He drank the pap very well. Then he started sleeping. So I told my sister to lie down and catch some sleep. She said no, let her go and attend to Chidinma too, because Chidinma was sick as well. So on the verge of attending to Chidinma, Emilie woke up. So my sister came back and I told my sister to go back to sleep. Let me feed Emilie and pamper him until my sister will be able to sleep, even if it is 1 hour. So she refused, but me, I refused. So she wanted to give Emilie breast. He refused to suck breast, and this was the first time he was refusing breast. So I told myself that the pap is still with him, that she should just sleep. The husband had already started sleeping. So my sister laid and was sleeping. At this point, Emilie had refused to lie down. He had refused for you to carry him and sit down. He was only comfortable if you're carrying him standing up. So I was standing up. I was in their room. I was standing up, pampering him, walking around, singing for him. So I kept doing this thing. Then I started noticing that he started stooling, like about after 12. That purging started again. So once he purges, the pampers will full. Like I will notice it that the pampers is full, so I will change the pampers. Once I put new one, he will purge again. Once I put another one, he will purge again. This purging, I changed like 9 pampers. I had to wake my sister up. I said, this thing, the Emilie has started stooling again, no, non-stop. So she looked at all the pampers that I had changed. He said, what happened? So she took zinc and gave to him, and I think Diastop, and gave to him, but he was still stooling. At the time, it was after 2 a.m. So I just told my sister, let's start praying. Since she had caught a little sleep, let's start praying until it is like morning time. Then they will take him back to the hospital. So myself and my sister, we started praying. It was our prayers that woke the father, and he now asked, what is it? I just told him nothing, that we are praying that the stooling is getting tense. But at some point, maybe because of the Diastop and the zinc, the thing started reducing, and my sister mixed oral drip as well, and we gave him oral drip. He drank. Then I think 30 minutes to 4 a.m. he started shouting. Like in some minutes he would just shout, ah. Then after 5 minutes he would do that thing again, ah. So I looked at his face, because all through I was the one carrying him. I didn't allow my sister to stress, because if we look at her, she was so stressed. So I looked at him. He started looking pale, as if he doesn't have blood. Like his lips started looking somehow. Then I told my sister that if we have blood syrup, let's give him. She said okay, but let's not give him. Let's get ready and take him to the hospital. And I said, okay, they want to take him now. They said yes. And I said, okay, let me lie down a little, because at that point I was feeling so tired. So my son now woke the husband and said, let them go to the hospital, that there's no need waiting more. So I now laid down. I did not sleep like 10 minutes. The next thing I heard was, Wama nguru. Wama nguru in Igbo is my baby is dead. So I stood up. I said, how? I carried him, because he was drinking a lot of water. Everything you give him, he would take. When my sister woke up, he did another pap around that 2 a.m. He finished it. So my sister now said the husband was weeing, or maybe poo-pooing, and she noticed that he's doing somehow, and then she gave her water. He couldn't take the water again. He was acting strange. But when I carried him up, he was breathing. So the father did not even clean his body again from that bedroom. None of us wore anything. I was wearing nightwear with wrapper. My sister too. We ran to the vehicle. My sister wanted to carry him to sit at the front seat. I said no, let me carry him and be at the back seat. On our way, I noticed a sharp breath because I was carrying him like this on my chest. I noticed a sharp breath, like he breathed a long, sharp breath. I became scared somehow, and I told the father to increase the speed. He said, "Is everything okay?" I said, "Yes." So when I noticed that sharp breath, it stopped. Did again the second time, stopped. And then I started feeling the pulse inside, not so well. Like when you put somebody like this, you'll be feeling the pulse, right? But I didn't think that. So before we could get to the hospital, the nurses checked at him. Maybe they had already known that he was no more, because we kept shouting emergency, oxygen. What is that? Not oxygen. What is the oxygen? What is that thing that they used to put to somebody? I will write it here if I remember. We were shouting for them to put that thing for him and retrieve his strength back, but the nurses kept saying that it's not a case of that. Is oxygen now? That is not a case of it, that we should wait for doctor to come, because doctor was not there. So they had called the doctor. We waited for about 20 minutes. He was still breathing. At that point, I was losing strength. I was confused, so I had to pass him over to the father. When the doctor came, I felt I wanted to wee. In fact, I didn't want to hear what the doctor wants to say. I just stepped out. So when I will see the doctor carrying him to the ward, then I can come. I was standing outside when the doctor now touched and tried to press on him. Before I saw the doctor going out, then I came back and my sister said the doctor said he's dead. I did not get it because his pulse was there from the heart, but the doctor said no, that if you read from here, that nothing was here. We kept pleading for them to still put that oxygen, but they refused. So I told Chief to come, let's go to another hospital. We went to another hospital. They said the same thing. I told Chief, come, let's go to the chapel. Let's go back to that chapel that we took this boy and go and tell God. I won't tell you the rest of the things that happened, because Chief lost it. My sister lost it. At some point, she fainted inside the vehicle. I saw me. But I knew I was the only one to hold them. I just acted, as if it is not true. So we drove and went back to the chapel. Lucky enough, as we were coming, look at the priest. He now carried him and ran to inside the chapel, brought out the Blessed Sacrament. We did all we could do. We prayed all we could pray, but Emerie did not come back. The reason I'm sharing this story, there's no need. I could have just come here and tell you guys that Emerie is dead. But if you know me, I love to always give a lesson from what happens to me. The reason I'm sharing this whole story is for us parents to be careful. If only I had lost somebody before, at least I will know when somebody is restless of death. We had no clue of death. We had no fear he was going to die. We thought it was a normal thing. I could remember when we came back to Nigeria, my daughter purged and vomited for close to 3 weeks. We was at the hospital throughout. Nothing happened. She didn't die. And that stooling and purging did not even stop at the hospital. I was the one who was forced for the doctor to discharge us. Let me take her to another hospital because I wasn't seeing any result. They discharged us. On my way going, I saw a pharmacy. I entered there. Something that they gave me of 1,000. I gave it to my daughter, and that was how she got herself. So I've known of children who will purge and stool and vomit for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, they don't die. But Chiemelie purged just 30th and 31st. He was not dehydrated and he died. So my reason of telling you this is, this thing that we will always say, God is, I don't want to say something that God, okay, let me put it this way. If only I was scared of that, Chiemelie could have not died. But we were not scared of death because we knew our God, number one, and because we know that what was happening to him was not something to take his life. But I'm telling you now, as a parent, if your child is sick, I beg, begin to fear death. Because if only we feared death, immediately we came out from that chapel, we will head straight to the hospital again. But we weren't thinking death. That is the most basic why I shared the story, how everything happened. I'm not getting myself the truth, but I'll try to put my Christmas and New Year vlog. I don't even have a New Year vlog because I came that 31st and Emilia was sick. We didn't even celebrate New Year anymore. That vlog, I've not ended it yet, and I'm not sure I'm going to end it. So that's it. That's what happened. Chemere had gone to be with the Lord. Please pray for my sister and the husband. For me, I know I'll be fine. Just pray for them and pray for the soul of my nephew. Thank you so much for watching. And yes, for everyone who called and I did not pick your call, all the Instagram messages that I have not attended to any. I found out that if I pick a call and try to explain what happened, it takes me back, and this is why I want to make this video now and try to forget it, because if I extend this video so long, it will not help me recover. So I decided to push out that video because I know I've kept a lot of people in the dark. All the messages I've not responded to, so I decided to make this video because I knew I needed to come in here and tell you guys, because I carried you all through his pregnancy and birth. And then I put up a post on my WhatsApp and on my IG. I needed to come in here. I couldn't have just come back and started acting as if everything was normal. So I'll be ending the video here. Pardon the longevity of this video. I just needed to share the whole story. Thank you for watching. Please pray for my family, and I will see you again when I will see you. Don't forget, I'm still here, babe. Lily Popes TV, and I sign up. Bye. Obili kwenu